Today I want to go over barbells. So I got a question from a subscriber regarding what kind of bars are used in competition and whatnot. So if you are competing the IPF has a partnership with ELEIKO, and you'll notice that actually in America all our national meets are done with the ELEIKO bar and the ELEIKO rack. Also, when you venture out to the IPF for their international events, they will use ELEIKO and also the ELEIKO rack. So let me give you the specifications of the ELEIKO bar. So the ELEIKO bar is obviously 20 kilos and the thickness is 29 millimeters, okay? And why is this important? So what will 29 millimeters do? So the advantages of a thick bar made with this Swedish steel is that it's very stiff. So when you're squatting, especially a big weight, the bar won't shake and oscillate as much when you're walking the weight out and etc. And the 29 millimeters, it won't really work against you for a squat. And if you like to have a solid bar, the ELEIKO bar is great for squatting. And same thing goes with bench press. If you're bench pressing with a 29 millimeter bar that's fairly stiff, then that's great and fine. However, the downside of using the ELEIKO bar is when you're deadlifting, because the bar is 29 millimeters. It's very stiff, and also you'll notice that from sleeve to sleeve the ELEIKO bar is also shorter because they're trying to accommodate a greater number of plates on the sleeves. So they make the sleeves longer, but the overall distance between end-to-end sleeve is shorter. So if you're a very wide sumo lifter, then you'll probably encounter a problem. So I myself, when I do sumo with my normal York bar, my toes aren't touching the plates. However, when I am using the ELEIKO bar, when I'm doing my normal setup, the toes are essentially touching the plates. So you have to be mindful, especially when you haven't practiced on a type of bar like that, to factor in what kind of weights you do for the competition, because naturally if you have a shorter, stiffer bar with no whip, then you'll have to adjust your deadlift attempts. So that's why the other federations, they use different bars for each attempt. So they'll use, for example, a 30 millimeter squat bar because it's very stiff, and these multiply guys are doing 1,000 pounds or whatever, and they will also switch the bar for a bench, so whatever they use for bench press, or they may use something similar to the squat bar. And keep in mind, whatever they're using is 28 to 30 millimeters for the squat and bench. But in these limited federations, what they do is they actually use a 27 millimeter Texas deadlift bar, and you'll notice that the bar is very long and is very thin. So when you observe these unlimited federations, these drugged federations, what's going to happen is when they're pulling the bar will actually turn into a U shape, and a lot of people, they try to take the advice, take the slack out of the bar, and this is what they're referring to when they're using this bar, because you can physically see the slack being pulled out of the bar. And what happens is when you use a 27 millimeter Texas deadlift bar, the bar is going to start bending, and then once you get it off the floor, the entire, both ends of the bar will whip, and it'll give you an initial boost off the floor. And on top of that, the 27 millimeter deadlift bar is very easy to grip. So those who have grip problems won't really encounter a problem with holding onto a 27 millimeter deadlift bar. So that's why you see in these other drugged unlimited federations that the deadlift numbers are inflated. And I guarantee you that if they try to do the lifts in an IPF meet with a real bar, an ELEIKO 29 millimeter thick bar, they won't be able to put up the type of deadlift numbers that you see in these unlimited federations. So to recap here, the IPF has a partnership with ELEIKO, and they use a 29 millimeter ELEIKO powerlifting bar. The bar is used throughout all three lifts, and unlike other federations, that's a rule that we enforce. So if you go to another federations, you'll see different bars used for each lift. However, the IPF institutes a rule where you're using the same bar for every for every lift. So the bar is not changed for the entire meet. And in America, the two main brands that are, of the bars that are used are IVANKO and ELEIKO. And ELEIKO, the bar is very expensive, so a lot of meet directors choose to use the IVANKO. And they may mix and match the IVANKO and the ELEIKO plates, but those are the two main brands that are used in America. And again, USAPL Nationals, they will use the ELEIKO equipment. I'm not a fan of the ELEIKO rack. I think it's very rickety. I prefer the ER rack, but you know, that's what they choose to use, and we have to accept that. So let me see what else. Also, other brands that may or may not, I'm not sure what the current rule is regarding the equipment, because all the manufacturers have to pay a fee to the IPF, but there are other brands such as UESAKA and LEOKO. So there's 4 major brands, but again, the dominant brand in powerlifting and IPF powerlifting is the ELEIKO bar. And again, you guys just have to realize it is a thicker bar, it is stiffer, so you may want to adjust your deadlift attempts according to what kind of bar you're using. So people are sacrificing the, I guess, the ease of the deadlift for stability in the squat, and that's really important for the bigger guys, especially, you know, for example, CYC or Konovalov. They're doing these huge, massive weights in the IPF, and I'm sure that they would rather have a bar that's stiffer and more stable, as opposed to using a bar that's 28 millimeters and something that shakes and oscillates a lot when they're trying to set up for the squat. So again, you'll see that you'll notice that once ELEIKO actually changed, the IPF partnered with ELEIKO, that a lot of deadlifts are lost due to grip, and again, that's because of the bar. We're not using thin 28 millimeter bar. It's a 29 millimeter thick Swedish steel ELEIKO bar, and again, it's very unforgiving, but again, if you want to exchange stabilization in the squat for setting up, as opposed to having ease of deadlift, you know, gripping the bar and having a tiny bit of whip, then you know, that's how it goes. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.